Okay, my child is screaming. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to sound because I don't have a microphone, so hopefully it sounds okay. Um, I was going to do a recording with my face in it, and honestly, I just totally forgot. So I'll do that one next because the house is clean and I have no sessions to edit. So I'm going back and editing some pictures of Ezra that I've never looked at before, which is really sad, I know, but mom life gets pushed back a lot whenever you have a full-time photography business too. So I'm going to spend some time doing that today in between my child yelling at me. He's currently playing with his toys. So I'll do a video next with like my face in it, and like you guys can like I'll talk to you as I'm doing it instead of this. I'm recording my voice over the video, which I've never done before. So let's see how this is. Okay. So the beginning of this, I'm just scrolling through trying to decide which ones I want to edit. I really didn't take too much time picking. I've only edited 2 pictures from his 6-month cake smash session, so that's really upsetting. I need to edit more of them. Like I said, I just get so distracted. So the first thing I always do is I level my horizon. Horizon drives me crazy, so please take advantage of that leveling tool. Always bring my highlights down a little bit. I just want to get some more of the sunset in there, which I didn't expose properly for this. Sharpening, bringing up the luminance, and playing with some lighting here. I always bring the temperature up because it's Hawaii. You want it to be warmer. So this is a little radial tool. I use this so much, you guys. I will pick up that radiant tool and adjust the settings over here on the right side and just bring the exposure up and all that. So I can do stuff to the foreground without messing up my background. Like if I brighten the entire image, I'm gonna lose what little sunset I have back there. So trying to fix Ezra's skin right now. Like I said, I didn't have my settings right on this at all because it was a mess. We got there, I was late getting there. We got there and the sun was already going down. I had about 10 minutes to shoot this. And I mean, Ezra, the surfboard was so slippery and he ended up like slipping off of it into the sand. I had to take him down on the beach and wash him off, and I'm trying to lighten that spot down there because it drives me nuts. I had to take him down to the water and wash him off because he had sand all over him and wax, and it was just a mess. You can still see he has sand like in his eye. I felt so bad. Like I just snapped like 20 pictures and then got the heck out of there. I felt so bad for him. I hate this beach, guys. I hate this beach because it is so dirty because everyone has bonfires out here. It is so dirty. So I was trying to make it look less dirty by like brightening it up and stuff. Trying to make it look less dark and ashy. I was struggling a lot with Ezra's skin tone in this picture. So over here in the hue, saturation layer, luminance, I'm just trying to kind of like mess with it to like get his skin tone the color I want it to be and not so red. Luminance actually brightens whatever color you choose. So if you pull the reds up, it brightens it. And you can see like a little before and after here. He's a little green, so I'm going to bring the magenta up a little bit. My computer is running really slow right here, so you can kind of see it spaz out. I'm just trying to fix that green. His poor cupcake is covered in sand. It was a disaster. Highly recommend if you guys do anything like this ever, take someone with you. It was awful. Okay, so now here I'm going to bring some sunset in. I'm always going to have that white spot because unfortunately I blew out the image a little bit. I tried to fix it, it didn't look right, so I just left it blown out. Brought the exposure down just a little, could bring in some of it, but for the most part it's always going to be pretty gone there. I mean, you can see a little before and after. There's definitely a lot of work that's done to this. This is just in Adobe Camera Raw, by the way. I don't work in Lightroom. The only time I ever shoot in Lightroom is if I'm calling a wedding. I just really hate Lightroom. I don't have anything against people who use Lightroom. Stormy uses Lightroom and she loves it. It works for her, but I hate it. I mean, more power to you. I really hate it because I don't really know how to use it. I've tried and I just keep going back to Photoshop because I've been using Photoshop for years. I mean, like, God, since I was in, like, 8th grade. I did all kinds of stupid things in Photoshop. So it's just Photoshop is something that I'm so familiar with at this point. See all that sand? Oh, my poor baby. He was 6 months old here, by the way. I don't know if I said that. I think I did. But so I'm going to use a little patch tool to get the sand off of him. You just select what you want gone and then drag it to a clean spot. So you have to be really careful with this tool though, because if you mess up an edge or a line, it's not going to work right. And you're going to see it right in here. I mess up his little pupil and I have to go in and fix it later with a clone stamp. See how it kind of left that little greeny? Made it look like his pupil was bleeding a little. But also I did use some actions on this picture just because I have them, basically. Actions are a thing that's like, they're good to have if you know how to do them without using the action. You know what I mean? Like, don't use actions as a cop-out to learning Photoshop or presets as a cop-out to learning Lightroom. Like, learn how to do it and then buy actions that you like. That way, you know, I don't know. I just feel like you should know what you're doing versus using actions as a cop-out. I'm sorry if that is offensive. I don't mean it to be. I just really feel like, you know, if you're going to do this and if you're going to charge people especially, you should know how to do it. I just use actions because they're faster and most of them are free. Like, my actions are pulled up right here on the right side, and like all the ones that say Jackie Jean's action samples and the Facebook resize, those are all free that I downloaded. I did buy newborn actions like a couple years ago when I was first starting, and I love them, but I don't really use them for anything besides the skin softening. Like, most of the time I go through and I did it on, oh, I missed a spot down there, crap. But most of the time I just use it for the skin softening. Oh, and here I'm fixing that spot I messed up on his pupil. This is the clone stamp tool, the keyboard shortcut, which I don't know if you guys noticed, but I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts. So like, you probably don't even notice me clicking buttons over there because I'm not. The keyboard shortcut for the clone stamp tool is S. I use pretty much every keyboard shortcut ever. What am I doing here? Oh, this is a fail. I was gonna try to make the sand more tan, but it didn't work. It looked dumb. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the sand will come out like really matte looking. See, it looks ridiculous. He was so bald. Wow. See, I just used one of the Jackie Jean samples, but I don't ever leave them as they are. Like, I always play with the opacity. How do you say that? I don't know. But I always play with stuff and like switch it around. But those are from Jackie Jean, which are free. So if you guys want those, they're free. You just have to go to her website or her Facebook page or whatever, and you sign up for like, I don't know, like she sends you She has a little link for freebies, and you just type in your email, and she sends them to you. Or not she, but her automatic thing. I don't know. You get them instantly, is what I'm trying to say. So these are my newborn actions that I pretty much run on every single picture because I use the skin softening part of it, if that makes sense. Mainly just because I'm lazy and skin softening takes too long if I don't use the action. And I have the action, so why not? And this is going to take forever to load because I'm recording. So my child is doing something very weird in there. I keep hearing him like smack the wall. Come on, computer. On the bright side though, his cupcake was delicious. But it was really sandy. So I don't think he enjoyed it as much. Hopefully his 1-year cake smash goes a little bit better. Hopefully. I'm probably gonna be that crazy mom, or not even mom really, it's more photographer status, but that does like 2 to 3 cake smashes just because I can't make up my mind on like what theme I want him to do. Like I kind of want to do another surfboard one, or like put him on a surfboard but like make his whale like a cake. Or I think I was doing something. What was I doing? Probably attending to Ezra. Or Star Wars. Well, definitely Star Wars. But yeah, okay, so always take off a lot of the stuff because it does some weird stuff to the picture. So I always delete some stuff and take it off. But here's the skin softening part of the action that I always use. So I just zoom in and I make sure my brush is at 100% opacity. And I just paint it on his skin. That's pretty much it. It's using a layer mask. So like you see the black rectangle over there. Anything that you paint on in black will essentially like undo it. And then everything that's white will like make it happen. I don't know the exact terminology for that. His poor little face is covered in sand and sandy brown dirt. I feel so bad for him. I wouldn't have picked that beach normally, but I was on a time crunch. And I always use the little sharpening, the baby details sharpen thing, because when you upload it on Facebook, it looks really nice. Because Facebook compresses everything. So you have to do some sharpening, and you have to resize it so it looks right on Facebook. I missed another spot, dang it. I personally resize it, the width to be, the width is like 2048 pixels, and then the height is just whatever its corresponding thing is. Oh, and to open up RAW again, it's Command-Shift-A or Control-Shift-A, whatever it is you use. And I just wanted to make his cupcake more vibrant, so I went in and I pulled the blues up a lot, pulled the oranges down a little, but because I pulled the oranges down, I had to go back and fix the sunset. And that's too much sunset. So it's definitely not how I would normally choose to edit. I don't hate it by any means. Like, it's cute. Obviously, it's Ezra. But it's not how I would choose to edit. But because of the circumstances with the crappy location and Sandy Baby and the jacked up settings, kind of had to roll with it. I mean, it's cute. He's a cute baby. That's probably why. But I just wanted to zoom in and show you guys a little bit of before and after. The before is the top. The after is the bottom. You can just see a little bit of a difference there in what I did. So, you would never believe the disaster that all of this was. He was slipping all off this thing. I kept having to go put him back on, and I'd have to stop to take a picture, and everyone was staring at us. And I eventually just took him down to the ocean and I just let him play in the water. I took some pictures of him down there too. But what was I doing here? Oh, I was trying to make the sand better, but it's just impossible. That sand freaking sucks. Okay, so I'm gonna play with curves a little. Curves are kind of a hit or miss, really. Like, sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. I have mixed feelings. Like, and the curves are really weird. You pretty much just grab a spot and play with it. The higher up on the line you go is the highlights, and the lower down the line you go is like the shadows or the darks. And you can also make images like matte by messing with the bottom part of the curves. That's how I make all my black and white pictures matte. But it's kind of a hit or miss. The curves and the levels are something to play around with and see how you feel about them. I always flatten my image. Everyone says not to, but I always do. And I think I'm done now. Yep, I was saving it. So I think I'm done. And I'll add a picture of this, like full screen. Oh, I kept messing up, so I was trying to close the video and I kept like accidentally undoing what I did before. But alright, I am going to add a picture in here at the end so that you guys can see that at least, and then I will make some more videos. Okay, bye guys!